This place, Gaza, has become the graveyard for the IDF, for Israel, and also for US. This has become the graveyard, literally. This is what I mean, literally. Now, this is Rafah. This is the south part of Gaza, and this is the northern part of Gaza, which is the Jabalia camp where it is located. And both north and south, they are now under attack in such a way that Israeli IDF, these belligerent forces, they have never expected, they have never seen it coming. Both south and north under coming tremendous attack by the forces Al-Quds and Al-Qassam Brigade, and they are attacking Israeli forces relentlessly. We have shown you guys Jabalia camp right now is under attack. The people there, they're leaving, as we have reported. 40,000 people got displaced. But the Qassam Brigade, not Qassam, the Al-Quds Brigade actually, Qassam is working on the south side and Al-Quds is working on the north side. Al-Quds is moving in to confront IDF forces, and they're killing hundreds. I will actually give you the numbers in a second, but this is the map. This is where all of these attacks are taking place on the IDF belligerent forces, and they are retreating in some instances. Obviously, we do not hear those kind of report from IDF or from the Western media. By the way, guys, just to remind you, most of my viewers are not subscribed. To keep yourself updated with what is happening in Gaza and also in Lebanon, consider subscribing to my channel. Now, let's talk about this particular report a little bit more so that you know exactly what is happening. And I'm going to be actually quoting both of them, Al-Qassam and Al-Quds, their statement. The latest such operation, so they had this operation in Jabalia camp, refugee camp. The latest operation took place west of Jabalia camp today, where the resistance targeted 15 Israeli soldiers using a Takiv barrel bomb. In a statement communicated through their Telegram channel, Al-Qassam Brigade said that its fighter detonated a highly explosive device aimed at a Zionist infantry of 15 soldiers who were trying to storm a house, killing and wounding its members. Again, this is coming near the Iti Salat junction west of Jabalia in the northern Gaza Strip. So again, northern Gaza is being operated by this Al-Qassam brigades and also Al-Quds. So when I said Al-Qassam is only in the south, that is not true. Al-Qassam and Al-Quds, actually both of them, they're working and operating in the north at the same time. And so Qassam has north and south presence. In other words, Al-Qassam also published a video showing the detonation of a booby-trapped tunnel shaft against an Israeli engineering force in the Rayan area east of Rafah in the southern Gaza Strip. In the past, this is something you have to notice. In the past, these forces, resistance forces, they are operating on a trap basis, means the way they were confront IDF forces is by trapping them, by showing them a way, go there, and then once they would go in, they will be attacked by the resistance forces. However, now they are not just using those booby traps, but also they are now facing IDF on a one-on-one basis at the front line. I'll explain to you more in a second what it means, but it does show that the resistance forces in Gaza, they're becoming even more powerful and they have more modern equipments and weapons than they had before. That's what I understand from these devices that they have. So Al-Qassam brigades, they have made some announcements, and they said, after returning from the front lines, our fighters confirmed targeting 2 Markava tanks and a military bulldozer of type D9 with Yasin 105 shells in the Al-Zanaina neighborhood in east of Rafah city. When I showed you guys the map here, this is where they were targeted. Take a look at this map here. So Al-Rafah, Rafah City, Janaina, this is where they were targeted. So Israeli IDF forces, they are present there, but they face this resistance from Al-Qassam Brigade. Now, Al-Qassam Brigade's target a Zionist Markava tank with Yasin 105 shell in the Tawam area north of Gaza City. Al-Qassam Brigade targeted a Zionist troop carrier with the Yasin 105 shell near Al-Khazindar station northwest of Gaza City. Qassam fighters managed to detonate a highly explosive device at a Zionist infantry force of 15 Zionist soldiers while they were trying to storm a house, killing and wounding its members near the communications junction west of Jabalia camp in the northern Gaza Strip. Now, what about Al-Quds Brigade? This is what Al-Quds is saying. So Al-Quds, again, they are operating northern strip of Gaza. We blew up a Zionist military vehicle excuse me, that penetrated Al-Saftawi area in the northern Gaza Strip by detonating a highly explosive Thaqif-piercing barrel explosive device. Quote, we destroyed a Zionist troop carrier penetrating Al-Tawam junction west of northern Gaza Strip by detonating a Thaqif device that we had planted in advance, and it caused a lot of casualties. What we are going to be seeing is that Gaza, people say Afghanistan is the graveyard for the empires. Gaza could well be the graveyard for Israel, the Zionists, and US. This is how I see it now. Because Israel and US, they're still spending billions of dollars on a dead city where most of its people are wounded, injured, or killed. And 99% of its infrastructure, they are already destroyed. I'm talking about Gaza. 99%, I mean, there is really nothing. And UN, they have reported and said that Israel is intentionally making this place unlivable, uninhabitable. At the same time, they cannot stop spending. They cannot say or declare victory that yes, we are done with Gaza. Just like what US did with Afghanistan. They bombed the country. They spent billions, if not trillions of dollars, only to find out they will have to go back and fight the people of Afghanistan, the Taliban, right? So they were spending, and they spent how many years? 22 years, I think. Exactly looks like to me same situation with Gaza. At one point, US and Israel, they will have no other option, no other choice but to withdraw their forces from Gaza forever, just like what US did with Afghanistan. And this time it is different. Afghanistan, US they could withdraw forces and just forget about it. They could easily abandon Afghanistan and we don't care about it. They could say it. But with Gaza, Israel cannot do that. Because once they leave the people of Gaza alone, Al-Qassam, Al-Quds, they're going to come after Israel. Because each of these fighters, resistance force member, they have lost one of their family members at least. They're not going to let Israel, okay, pack up and we are going to leave and live in peace. No, that is not going to happen anymore. So when we say that the collapse of empire, how it happens, for United States, unless they wake up right now, the citizen of US, and they call the government stop spending money on Gaza, because this is a vacuum. This place is completely vacuum, and this place has really nothing. Like you carpet bomb the entire city. If the American people, they don't realize this mistake, the country of US will no longer exist economically. I'm talking about, because war takes money and budget and effort and weapon supply and all of those things. Now, what is the irony of all of this is that the US is not, the government, they're not waking up. What they have done is they have actually sanctioned Iran when they should be sanctioning Israel. As Macron said, there should be an embargo on Israel, or arms embargo. But what we are seeing is that US is putting sanction on other countries. And so Russia has an answer for it, which is BRICS. They are holding meetings, and I think they will be having another one in Russia, in Moscow, very, very soon. And one country, they do realize that we do not want to be with the Zionists, these terrorists, and they call them fascist and genocidal. Nicaragua, they have cut ties with Israel, calling them fascist and genocidal. We also have other countries who are still not waking up. These bootleggers of Zionists, for example, this guy, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, he says, Germany will supply more weapons to Israel soon. So again, pathetic. They need to really understand and learn from their history. Now, people are talking about this, that Russia is now using Korean troops, and some Zionists and people who are anti-Russia, believing that Russia is their enemy, they're saying, they're laughing, Russia doesn't have troops, they're using now North Korean troops. Well, US did the same thing. 400 Filipino members were hired by US Navy, if you do not know, to fight for them. The Korean War was fought by foreign troops at the same time, and US, they have promised citizenship, permanent residency to those people. So it is nothing new that countries would use foreign troops. Then we also have Russia and Iran made a $1.7 billion deal, arm deal. Guys, you have to understand, Russia, Iran, North Korea, they are becoming the axis of resistance in the eyes of the world citizen against US colonization and the Zionist colonization. Even American people, I have seen myself tweets talking about how Russia is not really the real enemy. It is Israel, it's the Zionists who are the real enemy. So these countries are becoming, China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, and other countries becoming the axis of resistance. So they do business, $1.7 billion arms deal, and they recruit from each other's military. The West, and especially US, they need to really wake up. It's over. And then we also have corrupt, degenerate politician like him, Lindsey Graham, who in the middle of a storm, the Hurricane Milton and the Helene that happened, I think Helene or Helen, I don't know. He said that US should give more to Israel. Look at Israel, they are not living in peace. In the context of talking about your people, your country suffering, he says, look at the Israelis, they're not living in peace. Like, we have this storm, this hurricane, but they are also suffering. This guy is lunatic. He's a warmonger, a part of the military-industrial complex. But this person is Iran's parliament speaker, Mohammad Bagher Kalibaf. Okay, this is the speaker of the parliament. He flew a plane into Lebanon, and right in front of the nose of the Zionist presence there, because Zionists, they want to make Lebanon a very unsafe place, and they have warned not to fly to Lebanon, and they just want to destroy Lebanon. They don't want any plane to land there. But this guy, for the parliament speaker, he said, no, I don't care about your warning. I'm going to Lebanon, and you know what? I'm going to be actually flying that plane myself. Guys, what is happening right now is very, very interesting. We'll be coming up with more updates. Thank you so much for joining this session. If you have any comment, leave a comment. I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Take care.